guidelines or stipulations in that bill would help, or do you think keeping it in the original form?
I think the original text of it that Patrice Cullors had introduced it as definitely could be beneficial. It could be the framework that's needed to, again, make sure that officers aren't using excessive force, that they are
My man Sean King just joined in.
Oh, what's up, Sean King? How you doing? Candidate for California governor out here. I could use some support from people like you to help use your platform. I will win if I'm heard by more people. But like I said, I do support criminal justice reform. I will be instituting policies that will do exactly that. Like I want to end qualified immunity in the state of California. I want to make sure that all police officers are carrying liability insurance, personal liability insurance. That way, if they shoot and kill someone, that money that's being paid for to those families that are victims of that police brutality are coming out of those police officers' pockets instead of taxpayers' pockets. I also, of course, will be making sure that officers are held to the same standard as we, the people, are. When you kill somebody, you go into jail. And if it's on video and there's no doubt about it, you should be held accountable and you shouldn't have special privileges that protect you from doing so. So I, again, will be making sure that I will end that qualified immunity, reintroduce that AB 392 bill, and make sure that it's applied to all of our officers.
And that's something I wanted to link up because, we have good connections with Kim Kardashian West in the Governor Newsom's office. I wanted to try to get something like AB 392 Stephon Clark law implemented into a national model. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That was when I was going to D.C. That was some of the work I was trying to do behind the scenes. So I want to talk about back to you, libertarian turned Republican.
All right.
So if you had to pick, we're Trump or Biden right now, who would you pick? Who would you choose? I know you voted for Joe because you're libertarian still, but who would you choose if you had a choice between Biden and Trump, and why?
I wouldn't. I would abstain. If really, truly, if I was forced, if I was forced to choose between either, I'd choose neither.
Look, you have to.
Nah, unless you putting a gun to my head, you know what I'm saying. If you put a gun to my head, it was like you have to choose one or the other. I would choose Biden, because we've seen what Trump has done in the time that he's been in office, and he has done nothing to help the black community as far as our concerns and our needs, and address what we, the people, truly want, and that's to get out of financial debt. He hasn't done anything to rein in the national. Did we just get kicked again? They really don't like me talking.
I don't know wrong with it, but my life ended.
Man, they really don't like us talking, do they? I told you, they don't want us, man. They know we that power connection shit. We make this shit happen, it's over. It's a wrap.
So weird. That is so weird.
Hey, it's
That's so weird.
I've
you
had
recorded, right?
Yeah, I have videos. I had videos that were removed and banned and censored on YouTube, so it's not any any question to me that somebody is watching, and they definitely want to prevent these messages from being heard by the masses.
So you still in Fresno, right?
I am.
We need to get you out here to Sacramento, brother.
For sure. I hit the road, man.
Well, what I was going to say was you were saying that you would choose Biden over Trump. I want to carry on.
If I was forced to, that again is the the bottom line of that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I would rather choose neither of them. They're pretty much just proponents of the same broken system, the same broken justice system that we've been experiencing, the same people that want to keep us in debt by borrowing and spending and keeping that trend going. So there's nothing progressive about what Biden is offering. There's nothing progressive about what Trump is offering, and we've seen that through his presidency already.
We're getting failed on not just some levels, but failed on all levels, pretty much.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, black people aren't looking for a handout. So when it comes to reparations and their proposals to provide that as a remedy to our suffering, it's not going to help. You know, that's, if anything, that's going to dig us further into debt. And that's something that the left, Democrats are pushing and proposing, especially here in California. The governor, he's right now introducing legislation to provide reparations to, descendants of slavery in the state. But California was never a slave-owning state. It was always a free state. So if you came to California as a black person, you weren't a slave. And the people here in California that are black, we'd have to go through the discovery process, finding out our ancestry, actually finding out if we are descendants of slaves or if we are descendants of free people that came here, possibly during the early 1900s, late 1800s, that migrated here from some of those from Africa and, some of those countries there. So with them spending our tax dollars to go through this whole process to figure out if indeed we are descendants of slavery, that's going to be costly. And then when it comes down to actual payouts to those recipients, that's going to come out of taxpayers' pockets. So whether you're black, white, or any shade of brown in between, you're going to have to pay. And that's unfair to me because you're victimizing the people that had nothing to do with slavery. That's why my proposal is to provide restitutions, and that's finding the entities actually responsible.
So are you saying that you're anti-reparations and for restitution?
Absolutely. I would hold companies like DuPont responsible. I would hold companies like, I forgot the name, the Brooks Brothers clothing company, multi-million-dollar company, the American government, suing them on behalf of the people of California to make sure that we get that money to be given to the descendants of slaves that are here. But it would be a matter of discovery and a matter of proof of ancestry to actually show that you are a descendant of slavery. So that's my goal once I become governor, and I hope to bring that to fruition where I to be elected.
Let's stop right there. Nigga, you ain't gonna be governor, okay?
Yes, I am.
You done cut the dreads off? Man? Oh, no, man. That was the whole campaign right there.
Well, believe it or not, I actually used to wear my hair like this before I met my wife. And then a year after we were together back in 2011, she asked me to grow my hair. So
you look like, you're just one step away from some Oakley glasses and cutting off that beautiful goatee, I tell you.
Nah, I'm keeping this for sure.
No, you look, I'm telling you, when I see, I'm like, gosh, he looks like a protester.
Yeah, if I cut off my face, facial hair.
No, you look great.
Thank you.
I love you. The work that you're doing when it comes to, I think that people see somebody running for office and they think, oh, this person is in it for them. They just want to win. They just want to do that. They just think about, every time that I see you, you're running for some office. Whether it's mayor, governor, something, you running for something.
Absolutely.
What inspires you to want to be the change instead of just talk about the problem?
A true desire for better, a true desire for better leadership. I feel like our leaders have failed us on every level, especially on the executive level, because they actually have the authority to make something happen immediately. So when I see one of these police shootings in the news, like what happened with Willie McCoy, I think you put that story out there recently. You know, something needs to be done. And if the governor, if the mayor isn't stepping up to the plate, then it's up to we the people to hold them accountable. And I feel as if we are better suited to fill those shoes. And because really you're just a spokesman of the community. You would be a better mayor of Sacramento, you know, and which is why I supported your campaign to actually replace his ass, replace Steinberg. Because
and then they gave me a job on Measure U, and I stepped down. But that's another story. But I want to talk about the restitution thing because a lot of people have a lot of questions about the replacing reparations with the restitutions. Can you define to the American public, to the general public, what you mean when you say replace the reparations and with restitutions? Can you explain to the people what you're saying with that?
Absolutely. Again, reparations is going to fault people and charge people that had nothing to do with slavery to have them pay for that wrongdoing. That's
but
wrong.
Don't you think America should pay for what she did when it comes to African Americans being sons of slaves just off the general? Even if they didn't do it directly, their fathers and their ancestors did. They eaten off the backs of our blood?
Absolutely. Like I said, I would, on behalf of California, sue the federal government, proving that they have been at fault in the suffering and causing the suffering of the black people here in California or descendants of slaves that are living here in California, and make sure that they pay.
California will file for restitution to the federal government. And the federal government have to give, I guess, African American stipends in a form of reparations. What does that look like?
Yeah, we would sue the federal government, and then once the state government received that money, would pay that directly to those recipients. But as I said, it would be a matter of proof. How many black people actually out there know their ancestry? How many can trace it back to their great-great-great-great-great-grandparents to say that they were slaves, you know? I would say for the people of Tulsa, Oklahoma, they would be in a better suited position because the Tulsa massacre, Black Wall Street got bombed by the National Guard, and that was with authority from the president.
If people don't understand what Black Wall Street is, it is one of the first one of the only black large economic hubs that we have for our people in Oklahoma, where over 300 African Americans were murdered and over 10,000 were left homeless. So keep going. And that's a riot for you. That's a real riot.
Absolutely. And they pretty much allowed white nationalists to go in there and murder innocent people. These are...
And that isn't anything new in America.
No.
Keep going.
And that's what I'm saying, is if we can prove those faults in the court of law, sue them, find them liable, and charge them for it, that would actually be more beneficial to the people of America. Because now the black people that have been wronged due to that, to those injustices are actually receiving payment from those who caused it versus, some white person that just moved here from England or,
honestly, I think we, as the people, have a better chance to get reparations than we do get restitutions from this federal government. But, that idea is something new I've never heard of. And I think that we need to start looking at ideas like that, some extreme ideas on how to get what's ours in our communities. I think we need both, restitution and reparations, now that you say it like that. You know what I mean? I think we deserve both, damn it. And I'm taking it, I think we deserve it all. Because, they say white man's heaven is the black man's hell. And we love everybody, but we have to understand that the African-American population is the only population in America that are not immigrant. We are sons of slaves. We were dragged here, forced to work here, no language, no culture, no nothing, no identity, and we deserve what's ours. And what's ours is we didn't get no reservations. We didn't get anything, you know. We're thrown in ghettos. We're thrown in prisons. We're thrown in the war on drugs. We're thrown in redlining. We're thrown in Jim Crow. We're just thrown in so many horrible situations that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, you know. But Nicholas Wildstar, we have to do this more often. I want to thank you for your time, and I want to give you the final thought in the closing floor on getting people out there to vote, because we got to understand we got to get educated, registered, and assist them with on how to vote, not who to vote. We don't want to tell anybody who to vote, but on how to vote. So can you talk to the people a little bit and inform them on how to vote?
Absolutely. Please definitely vote with your conscience. Don't vote because you're provoked to do so. Don't do so out of fear that the other party will win. You know, you're expressing your voice and you're speaking up for the community. And you gotta go out there and speak up, or else you're going to remain silent. Don't do that. Don't silence yourself by saying, I'm not going to go out there, I'm not going to participate in the electoral process because it's needed. As I said, there are other candidates that are running for president. So please, once you get in the voting booth, you're going to see all these names on there.
You're going to see Kanye West.
Right. You even going to see Kanye West. But he wasn't in no damn debates, was he?
No, he wasn't. Sure wasn't.
Why? Exactly. So they're discriminating against other people running from office because they don't want to give them the opportunity to be heard by a larger group of people, because they know that's where a true revolution can happen, is in the voting booths. Frederick Douglass said, a man's freedom lies in 3 boxes: the ballot box, the jury box, and the bullet box, the cartridge box. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be free...
Say that again for the people that didn't hear it.
Absolutely. Frederick Douglass, one of our nation's founders, a black man, an abolitionist, and a Republican. And a Republican.
Yeah, right. One of the founding fathers.
Yes. And a Republican. He actually said... he said that a man's freedom lies in 3 boxes: the ballot box, the jury box, okay, because people don't want to do jury duty. You got to do your diligence, and then a cartridge box. All right,
bang, bang,
bang, bang, and that's what I want to do as governor of California. I will nullify all unconstitutional gun laws like the Mulford Act.
All right, okay, all right. We love you, man.
I know I'm going to get banned for saying that, but...
Hey, look, you're going to get us kicked out the line.
Right.
I love you, brother.
Hey,
Thank you.
much
We'll
love
be doing this
to you.
tomorrow, and I'm going to be putting this up. We'll be doing this a lot more. But this one will be staying up right now because we want to get people, teach them not who to vote for, but on how to vote. So thank you for your recommendations. Thank you for explaining to the people a little bit about the Libertarian Party and why you're switching over. And we'll be definitely being in contact, staying in touch to further dialogue.
Hey, pleasure speaking with you, brother. Much love.
Yeah.
Till next time.
All right. Being in contact, staying in touch to further dialogue. I love you, brother.